Okay, this is one of the pictures in the Patterns in Nature exhibition, and I was set the remit of showing how pattern is used in art and also in this particular work in nature. This is a picture which is derived from my inspiration from Lionel Feininger, who was an interwar German who moved to America and was a late Cubist. Picasso had the Cubist period 20 years before. What Feininger did was to join the patterns in nature in the sky to the landscape. So what you find in his work is the mountains or the sea and the sky merge into each other, using the Cubist device of sections and lines cutting across the canvas. What I've done here with the digital work is to use a similar sort of device to cut the image into planes. And we have here the Matterhorn from Zermatt. As I see it, this is my interpretation of that. This is the Matterhorn up here, and clearly these are the sky elements above it. What I've done is to integrate the Matterhorn into the sky. What I've also done is to reflect the Matterhorn into the lower part of the image, because I want to show that this is an icy, rocky environment in which the earth feeds into the base of the Matterhorn, and the Matterhorn has its roots deep into the earth. So this piece represents that. It was actually done by watercolors, which were then scanned in and then turned into these linear cut planes in the computer. This is a piece called Temple Garden, Morocco. It's directly inspired by a piece of the same name by Paul Klee, an artist I love. Klee was probably the master of colours and patterns. I don't think I've seen any artist who's been better than Klee at what he did. Basically, the great thing about Klee was that before he went to Morocco, just after the First World War, his colours were more muted and his forms were less expressive. This is a classic example of an artist going away to another country, to another culture, picking up the vibrancy of the colours and the forms and coming back and reproducing them and changing his art in the process in many ways. Temple Garden in Morocco was produced a couple of years after he came back from notes, and it depicts a temple garden in Morocco. In my case, inspired by this, I've decided to take the sorts of colours and forms which Klee originally had and turn them into a piece which is equally colourful and full of sculptural and architectural forms. This is a kinetic piece called Fluid Forms. In all the kinetic pieces I've done for this exhibition, what I've done is I've taken a digital work and then I've moved it 1 degree at a time across the colour spectrum, just changing in mathematical terms one variable. So I haven't changed any of the forms, simply changed the amount of colour going across it, like a rainbow. The result has been very interesting. It's created, in this fluid piece here, a series of forms which also appear to move. So the colours actually have an impact on the forms in front of you. In terms of patterns in nature, which this exhibition was about, this is an attempt to show how artists make choices on patterns, but the actual choice is a frozen moment. So when an artist is working in colour and form, they actually choose the moment at which they wish to freeze it. That's the case here. When I see the original piece on which this is based, I'm delighted with the choice I made. Clearly I could have made any of the choices on this screen running at the moment, but I chose instead to freeze it at this particular point in time. And of course, when you do this, when you run it, as I did as an experiment in this way, something else has emerged that I didn't know was there. Certain patterns and forms that I wasn't aware of when I was doing it have come out in the piece, which I find very attractive in a different way. So this kinetic piece of art is entirely different in many ways, although based on the original static work of art.